Disclaimer: it was a fanfiction story created by me. Please don't take it seriously. There is no match in this story and real life.
At downstairs, wine. Mom has my breakfast. Mom, wait a minute dear. I am bringing it now. Eileen, I am leaving. Bye. Wine. I didn't say anything to her, but mom quickly ran out from the kitchen and started telling her, Mom, wait Eileen dear, wine is already ready. She is just having her breakfast. Take her with you. How will she go alone? Eileen, then she should remember that not me. I won't wait for anyone, especially not for her. Well, it's okay, mom. Let her go. I will go myself. No, I already told you. You won't go alone. Eileen, oh God, again their mother-daughter drama. One, shut up, Yoni. I may not be related to you, but she is your mom, right? So at least talk to her with some respect. Eileen, how dare you shout at me? Don't forget who you are. You are adopted, remember? And yes, this is my mom. I will talk to her however I want. One, I don't care if I am adopted or not. She is still my mom, and I will not tolerate anyone talking to my mom or dad like that. Not even you, Mrs. Min. Both of you, stop it. Can't you both live peacefully for even one moment? And why, dear, she is your elder sister. You should speak to her like that. I mean, elder sister, my foot. I am nothing to her, nothing at all. I can bear everything, but I can't stand it when someone talks like this to you, mom. This is mean. It's okay, dear. I am used to all this now. Now stop fighting and go to university. I am not taking her with me. That's it. Saying this, she left from there. Mom called her many times, but she ignored it on purpose. Even after hearing her, it's okay, mom. I will go on my own anyway. I don't want to go with her, please. I have tried many times to fix my relationship with Eileen, but she never wants to accept me. Not just that, she always troubles me. She never misses a chance to insult me in front of everyone. Even in university, she always says bad things about me. She has even hurt me physically many times. I hide these things from mom because I don't want her to get more hurt or worried. She has even purposely spilled hot tea and coffee on me many times. She pushes me down, and the injury I got on my leg in childhood, that was also because of her. She pushed me in front of a moving car. Mrs. Min, how will you go to university now, dear? Fine, no worries, mom. I will call Sophie and ask her. She will pick me up while going. Mrs. Min, okay, dear, now sit and have your breakfast. Saying this, mom went back to the kitchen. Sophie is my best friend. I called her and told her everything. After some time, she came to pick me up. Fine, mom, I am leaving. Take care of yourself, Mrs. Min. Okay, dear, be careful. Fine. Okay, mom, saying this, I sat in the car with Sophie and we left for university. At university, fine. Me and Sophie were walking towards our class when suddenly someone pushed me from behind. I was about to fall, but Sophie held me. As soon as I turned back, just as I thought, Eileen and her friend were standing behind. What the hell? As soon as I said this, Eileen came in front of me and angrily grabbed my cheeks tightly and said, Eileen, just wait. I will make you look so horrible that you won't be able to show your face to anyone. Fine. I removed her hand from my face and pushed her hair hard. Go and give that warning to someone else, not me. I know you very well. I know how low you can go. So listen to me too. Don't think I am some innocent soft girl. If you say or do something, do you think I will just sit quietly? If you hit once, I will hit back twice. Now I am telling you, if you try to do anything to me or my mom again, then remember I will destroy you so badly even your shadow will scare you. Saying this, we went to our class. One, I don't have many friends in university thanks to Eileen because whoever tries to be my friend, she travels them too. She's our senior as well, but when it comes to Sophie, she can't do anything to her because Sophie is also fearless and doesn't care. The teacher came to class and started teaching. After a while, Sophie asked me, Sophie, what happened at Wine? Why are you so quiet today? You don't seem focused at all in class. When I'm not in the mood for class today. Sophie, why? What happened at? Missing your cookie? One since the day I meet him, not a single moment goes by without thinking about him. Sophie, seriously, dude? I have never seen a lover like you. Only in movies, never in real life. You are awesome. And there are many lovers like me. You just haven't met them yet. Sophie, no one can be like you. Seriously, that boy is so lucky to be loved by you. It's been 17 years. You met him once in childhood when you were just 6. And now you are 23 and still love him the same. And I will love him all my life. Sophie, do you really believe you will meet him again? You don't even know where he is, what he does. You know nothing about him. And even if you meet him again, how will you recognize him when he has a small mark under his eyes? Sophie, that kind of mark could be on anyone, so every guy won't be your cookie. Saying this, I started drinking water from my bottle. Wine, yes, but his funny smile, those doe eyes, those expression, that innocent and that taste. Not everyone has that. After hearing this, Sophie spit out the water in shock. She asked it with surprise. Sophie, what do you mean by taste? Wine. Actually, when I met him in childhood at the time of goodbye, I met him on the. After hearing this, Sophie was completely shocked. Sophie, what the? I clapped my hands and said loudly, wow, Wine, wow. Wine. Because of Sophie's reaction, the whole class, even the teacher, started looking at us. Then the teacher shouted angrily, Teacher, what's going on here? Sophie, nothing, ma'am. Mosquito. A mosquito was biting me, so I was trying to kill it. Teacher, oh, so now even mosquitoes have names, Wine? I whispered to Sophie, Sophie, clean up your mess. Don't drag me into it or I will beat you up. Sophie, this is all because of you. Teacher, sit down and focus on your studies. Sophie, okay ma'am, thank you ma'am. After that we both sat down. Sophie, you seriously your crush when you were just 6? When I was a little kid then I just did what I felt right at that time. Sophie, wow girl, you have already your crush, so will you now go and every guy to test if he is your cookie? Wine, that won't be needed. I will recognize him from afar. I trust my heart that much. Sophie, I pray that you find your true love very soon. Wine, after that we both started concentrating on our books. When after classes ended, I came back home from university and saw mom watching TV in the living room. I went to her, hugged her, and sat with her. After spending some time, I asked her, Mom, can I ask you something? Mrs. Min, I already know, dear, what you want to ask. Wine, really? Then tell me, what do I want to ask? Mrs. Min, that did I find anything about that auntie, where she came from, which city she was from, or about Jungkook? Oh, sorry, you're pretty oppa. That's what you wanted to ask, right? Looked at her with a warm smile full of love. When I just gave a small sad smile and nodded my head slightly. Mrs. Min, dear, for the past 17 years you have been asking me the same question. Do you love that boy so much that no one else ever feels right to you? And Mom, I don't know what was so special in him, but he made such a deep place in my heart, which I just can't give to anyone else, even if I try. Maybe he wasn't in my fate. Maybe I will never see him again in this life, but my life, I have already given it to him. Mrs. Min, don't say that, dear. I can't see you in this state. Just wait and watch. Your love, your prayers, your word, everything will bring him back to you. He will come back. When I hope so. We both sat quietly for some time, talking softly. Just then Dad and Eileen come home. Eileen's face was red with anger and she was speaking very loudly. Dad was trying to calm her down. Then Mom asked, Mrs. Min, what happened and why are you both shouting like this? Looked at them with worry and asked softly, Eileen, what do you care? You only have time for your dear daughter. That's why you can't say anything else, Mr. Min. Eileen, what kind of way is that to speak to your mom? Eileen, what wrong did I say, Dad? She is your perfect daughter, right? So why don't you get her married to those people? Leave me alone. I am not agreeing to this. Anyway, those people didn't even see me. They don't even know my name, so just please stop forcing me. When Eileen shouted all this and ran to her room, Dad also quietly walked to his room. Mom also went after them. A deep silence spread in the house. For the first time, I saw Dad looking so tired, so sad, like he had accepted defeat. Seeing him like that made my heart heavy. I quietly went near their room where I could hear Mom and Dad talking. For the first time, I listened to someone secretly, but I was helpless. I had to know what had really happened. Mrs. Min, what happened? What was Eileen talking about? And why do you look so worried? Mr. Min, it is something to worry about. Now my reputation is in Eileen's hand. Please explain to her, make her agree, otherwise I won't be able to face anyone. How will I look at people in the eyes? Voice was shaking a little and eyes had tears. Mrs. Min, what's wrong? Min, control yourself. Why are you crying? What happened? Tell me everything. Mr. Min, I made a very big mistake. Hannah, just to make my daughter happy, I put my respect at risk. Mrs. Min, did Eileen do something? Mrs. Min, no, actually, there is a very rich business investor who had put money into my business. They are from a very high class family. A few days ago, I heard that they were looking for a bride for their younger son, Siu. So I told them about Eileen and they agreed. Mrs. Min, what? Completely shocked eyes were full of surprise and anger. Mr. Min, I thought Eileen would be happy hearing this, but as soon as I told her, her face changed. She got so angry and said no to this marriage right away. Now, what should I do? What should I tell those people? I can't even say no to them because I went to them myself. They didn't come to me. Now, my respect will be ruined and my business too. Mrs. Min, how could you do this, Min? How could you do this to Eileen? She has every right to choose her life partner. She's not a little child anymore. How could you take such a big decision about her marriage without even asking her? Now she was completely angry. Her eyes were full of pain for her daughter and disappointment towards her husband. Mr. Min, whatever I did it all for Eileen. I saw her many times going out with Sue. So I thought maybe Sue is her boyfriend. That's why I fixed the marriage. Crying now, tears were falling from his eyes. His voice had become heavy and emotional. Mrs. Min, don't cry. Everything will be okay. You saw her spending time with that boy, and you assumed he is her boyfriend. Didn't it come to your mind that maybe he is just a friend? How could you make such a big mistake? You could have at least asked her once. Her face was tense, eyes full of anger, but there was worry in her heart. Mr. Min, he stayed quiet and started sobbing. Eyes lowered. Guilt was clearly written on his face. Mrs. Min, now how will we come out of this problem? Mr. Min, I don't know what to do now. He held his head in both hands and cried like a man completely broken from all sides. Hearing that cry was breaking my heart. I felt heavy inside, but I couldn't help him. If I tried talking to Eileen, explaining anything to her, she would even listen to me. In fact, we did probably end up in a huge fight. Just then, Eileen came from somewhere and grabbed my hand, pulling me into Mom and Dad's room. Then she spoke to Mom. Look, your sweet daughter was secretly listening to your conversation. When I'm sorry, mom and dad, but I felt really worried seeing dad like that. That's why I came here and I started listening just to understand why dad is so upset. Aline, you lie very well. If you really care so much about mom and dad, then save dad's respect and marry that stranger guy. After hearing Aline's word, I froze in shock. My breath stopped for a moment. Tears came to my eyes on their own. A strange fear entered my heart. The fear of losing someone, or maybe to tell the truth, it was the fear of losing Jungkook that surrounded my heart. Someone I never even had it. I was scared of losing him. Just then, Mom's loud voice brought me out of my thoughts. Mrs. Min, never. She will not do this marriage, not at all. Angrily, her eyes had turned red. Eileen, why, mom, now that it's about wine marrying some unknown boy? You feel bad? Did you ever think this much about me? Crying, her eyes locked on mom. Mrs. Min, I did think about you, and I even told your dad that what he's doing is wrong. You have every right to choose your life partner. She shouted, her eyes filled with both anger and pain. Eileen, you are lying. You could never do that much for me. When they kept shouting at each other, I slowly looked toward Dad, who was sitting on the bed looking only at me. His eyes were filled with tears, and in them was a silent request, like he was trying to tell me something without speaking. Just then, Eileen grabbed my arm and turned me towards her and said, Eileen, why did you forget how much this family has done for you? Even real parents don't do that much. Your real father left you at an orphanage. This family saved you. My mom saved you, give you a home, raised you, fed you, made you what you are today, give you education, give you a life. Now you have a chance to return that favor. When I had never felt this hurt by Eileen's words before. She always said such things, but today it hurt in a completely different way. Mrs. Min, shut up, Eileen. Keep your mouth shut. I was the one who brought her into this house. Till today, neither you nor your dad even spoke to her properly, not even once without a reason. And now you want her to return a favor? What favor? Eileen, she got a place to live, food to eat, education. Isn't that huge? If she hadn't gotten shelter in this house, who knows where she would be, or even if she did be alive. When today I was completely broken. I never knew Eileen had so much hatred in her heart for me. I used to think she was just angry because mom loved me more. But now I understood her feelings were much deeper. Just then, mom walked angrily toward Eileen and I quickly stopped her. Then I looked at Eileen and said, if marry that stranger, will you give mom the love and respect she truly deserves? It was very hard for me to speak these words. As soon as I said them, Dad looked shocked and tears started pouring from his eyes. Then Mom pulled me toward her with both arms and shouted angrily, Why are you crazy? You don't have to do anything like this. I am fine the way I am and I am happy. Don't even think about doing something like that. One, answer me, Eileen. Will you love mom? Tears started falling from my eyes as I said this. Mrs. Min, stop it, Wine. Please, my child, stop talking like this. You don't need to do anything. We will find a solution to this problem, I promise. Wine, tell me, Eileen. This time I cried out loud as I said it. Mom hugged me tightly as I cried. Eileen, yes, Mrs. Min, don't you dare say anything. You are my daughter. I am with you. You don't have to worry about anything. When, after a long silence, I slowly walked towards Dad. My legs were shaking, but I held myself strong. I sat down on my knees in front of him. My tears crossed the limits of my eyes. Crying in a shaky voice, I said, I am ready to marry Dad. Mrs. Min, wine! She shouted quickly. Wine! Mom quickly ran towards me and helped me stand up. Mrs. Min, what are you saying, my child? You don't need to do this. I know, sweetheart, you have waited for 17 years. Your heart cannot love someone else now. I will not let you sacrifice 17 years of love. When in mine, I know, Mom, no one in this world can understand me more than you, but I can't see you in pain like this. If my living can give you peace, then I can at least do this for you. When I am okay, Mom, how long should I wait for him? You were right. Maybe he is not written in my destiny. If he was, then what we have made at least once in all these 17 years. I want to do this marriage. Mrs. Min, don't lie. Ryan, I know you very well. I can understand what's in your heart even without you saying it. So what if I didn't give birth to you? I am still your mother. Ryan, Mom, I am telling the truth. I don't have any problem with this marriage, okay? And you won't say anything more about it. That's it. I am making this decision by my own choice. Please, Mom, please don't say anything. It's just accept what I'm saying. I will do this marriage, Dad. Mrs. Min, after saying this, went into her room. I didn't stop her because I know once she decides something, she doesn't listen to anyone. Mrs. Min, all this happened because of you. You forced her. What do you think? If one goes away from here, you will get everything. You can never take one's place in my heart. Do you know why? Because your heart is not pure like my wine's. I am saying one last thing to you. What you did with her was not right. I will never forgive you. Crying and shouting, she said this to Eileen a week later in Wan's room. When I was sitting in a corner of my room, crying with my hands over my mouth, every tear was telling the story of my helplessness. No one forced me for this marriage, but I am forced by my own heart. No matter how much Mom says, Eileen's words don't affect her. I know they do. I have seen her many times secretly crying alone. How can a mother bear such bitter words from her own daughter? As long as I am here, Eileen will keep hurting her. Maybe if I leave, Mom will get some peace. Suddenly, someone knocked on my door. I quickly wiped my tears and tried to control my voice before speaking. Why, Mom, I know it's you. I am fine. You don't need to worry about me so much. Please go and take some rest. I'm really okay. After a short silence, another voice came. Mr. Min, it's me, Wine, Dad. I was surprised. I quickly stood up and opened the door. For the first time, I saw him come into my room. He sat on the bed and called me near him. I silently sat beside him. Then, in a calm and soft voice, he said, Mr. Min, I know you feel like I only love Eileen and not you. But that's not true, my daughter. When as soon as I heard the word daughter from his mouth, my eyes filled with tears again. For the first time, he accepted me like this. Mr. Min, I love you just as much as I love Eileen. I just never showed it, never expressed it because I didn't want Eileen to feel bad. I know you made this marriage decision because you were hurt by Eileen's word. But you don't have to do this, daughter. I will go talk to those people. If needed, I will even bow down and say sorry. When I was shocked by Dad's words for the first time, he was talking to me with so much love. He was thinking so much for me, and that was more than huge for me. And about this marriage, yes, I made this decision because I felt helpless, so that Mom can find some peace. Thinking of that made my tears fall again. Dad gently wiped my tears and said, No, sweetheart, don't cry. I'm here. I will fix everything. I suddenly hugged him tightly, crying. I said, Dad, it's not your fault. And I am not saying yes because someone made me. I am saying it by my own will. Hiding my pain, I tried to hide my tears behind a fake smile and said, Look, Dad, I am fine and happy too. You are worrying for nothing. Mr. Min, are you really telling the truth, my child? Yes, Dad, you will always want the best for me. Maybe this is what's written in my destiny, and maybe this is what's best for me too. Mr. Min, thank you so much, child. Today you saved my respect. You proved that real and step relation don't matter. What's matter is the bond from the heart. Please don't think that just because you said yes to this marriage, I am treating you nicely. It's not like that. I just want to fulfill my duties as a father, not silently, but by showing the world that You are my daughter. The wedding is in 1 week. If any time during this week you want to change your decision, don't hesitate to tell me. Your father will handle everything. After saying the dad kissed my forehead with love for the first time. I truly felt his love, but can I really forget the love I have had in my heart for 17 years? Can I forget that face who was a part of my every happiness, my every pain? Can I really give someone else a place in my heart? Or will this marriage just become a compromise? And point of view, the days kept passing like this, and with every passing day, wine was breaking more from inside. It felt like all her feelings, all her emotions were dying slowly. She didn't eat properly, she didn't talk to anyone, she would stay locked in her room all day. She cried so much that her tears had dried up, and even if she wanted to share her pain, who would she tell? She was the one who chose this path full of thorns, and what else could she do? For 23 years, her mother had suffered so much pain for her. She also deserved a little happiness now, right? When even stopped going to university, she wasn't even talking properly to her best friend Sophie. And because of this, Sophie came to her house 3 days later to check on her. After all, she was worried about her friend's sudden behavior change. When she reached the house, she found out about everything. From Owen's mom hearing that, she ran straight to Owen's room. She opened the door with force, angry and worried, but the scenes inside made her eyes fill with tears. The old room was messy, and one was lying on the floor like a lifeless body. Her hair was all messed up, eyes swollen, and lips dried. Tear marks were still visible on her face. There was a strange silence in the air, like even the world could feel her pain. Sophie quickly rushed to her, picked her up, and hugged her tightly while crying. Sophie, what are you punishing yourself for? What will you get by destroying yourself, Wayne? Why are you doing this marriage? Because of what Eileen said? She was always rude and mean. Or for your dad's love, the same love that he never showed before? Will you really forget about your 17 years of love? Your long wait, all of it? Can you forget that face? Will you be happy in this marriage? Can you give that boy the respect of a husband? Her every word was hitting one's heart like sharp arrows. Even breathing felt difficult now for her. She was hearing everything, but it felt like there was no life left in her body. Her eyes were completely empty, just empathy. Sophie, you are listening to me, right, Wayne? Sophie shouted. Her voice was filled with pain, worry, and the deep emotion of friendship, a kind of feeling only true friends understand. But one only looked at her for 1 second with a tired and lifeless gaze, like there wasn't even a drop of light left in her eyes. Sophie took a deep breath, wiped her tears, and held one's cold hands in hers, then softly said, Sophie, come with me. Without thinking much, she supported one's weak body on her strong shoulders, lifted her up, and both her downstairs. When they reached downstairs, Sophie, Auntie, I am taking wine with me, she said indirectly. She didn't wait for any answer. She knew one's mother was also broken from inside. Maybe she also wanted someone to come and take her daughter away from this pain. Sophie helped one sit in the passenger seat of the car. She also sat beside her. Sophie, uncle, please take us to park. She gave the address. It was the same park where Wan met Jungkook for the first time, where her love story had started. That place wasn't just a park for her. It was a feeling, a memory, a peaceful space. Whenever her heart felt heavy, she would come there just to spend a few moments with his memory. After some time, when they reached the park, Sophie took Wine to the same place where her love had once held her hand for the first time. Sophie, tell me, Wine, can you forget that person? The one you remembered
every day for 17 years? The one you loved without meeting, without seeing, only thought memories. You always knew he might never become your. You always knew he might love someone else. Still, you never stopped loving him. You promised yourself that you would live with just his memories. So now what happened, Ryan? Why are you breaking your own heart? Why are you taking away your reason to live? Said Will, crying and shouting. Finally, Wayne broke down. The dam of passion she had built for so long had shattered into pieces. The weight of her pain was too much to bear anymore. She dropped to the ground, falling on her knees, and cried loudly. Her sobs filled the air, her body shaking with each breath. Sophie stood frozen, her own tears streaming down her face as she watched her best friend crumble right in front of her. She didn't try to stop her. She knew one needed this. Sophie, thinking to herself, cry, my friend, let it all out. If you don't, this pain will eat you alive from the inside. You need this. You need to let go. For a long time, Wayne cried loud, broken sobs that carried the weight of silent suffering. When her cries finally turned into soft whimpers, Sophie gently helped her up and guided her to a nearby bench. Sitting her down, she handed her a bottle of water. Wayne took a sip, trying to catch her breath. After a brief silence, Sophie finally spoke, her voice filled with concern. Sophie, why are you doing this to yourself, Wayne? Do you even realize how much your mom is hurting because of your decision? Wayne, I am doing this for her, for my mom. Sophie's eyes widened in shock. Sophie, what? Wayne told Sophie everything about her situation, her helplessness, and the reason she agreed to this marriage. Sophie listened carefully, her heart breaking with every word. Tears formed in her eyes as well. Sophie, how can Eileen behave like that with her own mother? How can she be so heartless? And what about your dad? Doesn't he say anything after seeing her treat your mom this way? When he does, he has scolded her, shouted at her, tried everything, but she doesn't listen. She only has one thing to say. Sophie, what? Wine swallowed, her fresh tears spilling from her eyes as she repeated Eileen's cruel words. She says, as long as Wine stays in this house, I will continue to do this. One, and I can't leave my house because of my mom. So this is the only option I have left. Sophie, do you really think this decision will make your mom happy? When wiped her tears with shaky hands, her voice weak but firm. No, I know this will hurt her. I know she is in pain, worried and stressed. But this marriage can free her from the suffering Eileen puts her through every day. Then I have no choice. I have to do this for her. Sophie, why is this world so cruel? Tears rolled down her cheeks as she pulled Wayne into a tight embrace. Both of them shoved chairs silently, holding onto each other as if trying to ease the unbearable pain waiting on their hearts. Sophie, now I finally understood why Wayne was willing to bury 17 years of one-sided love deep within her heart. She wasn't choosing this marriage because she wanted to. She was choosing it because she had no other choice. Days kept passing like this, and Wayne had become completely silent, like she had no words left inside her. Sophie wanted to help her, but she couldn't do anything. She could only watch her best friend break a little more every day, and then that day finally came. The day Wayne had never wanted to face in her life. If it was in her hand, maybe she would have erased this day from the world forever. But what could she do? There was no other way. She had no choice but to live this painful life. Now she had given up everything to fate. Let's see where her destiny takes her next. Wedding day. The morning was quiet, too quiet for a day that was supposed to be filled with joy. Inside the bridal room, Wayne sat in front of the mirror, still and silent, like a doll dressed for display. Her white gown was beautiful, flowing in satin with delicate lace sleeves and a simple veil pinned into her soft curls. but her eyes were empty, no shine, no sparkle, just silence. Sophie stood behind her, gently helping with her final touches, fixing the veil, adjusting her earrings, something her the dress. She kept talking softly, hoping for a reaction. Sophie softly, "You look so beautiful, Wine, just like an angel." But Wine didn't respond. She didn't smile. She didn't even blink. It was like she wasn't really there. Sophie bit her lips to hold back tears. She had never seen her best friend like this. She wanted to scream, cry, break something, but she couldn't. Not today. Just then Juan's father entered the moment. His eyes filled with pain. Her mother wasn't there. She had refused to attend the wedding. She was lying in her room, unable to stop crying since morning. Her father walked closer and gently held Juan's hand. "Dad, let's go, daughter, it's time." Wine stood up slowly, her dress brushing against the floor. She didn't look up. Her father held her hand tightly and led her toward the lodge, decorated beautifully. White flowers lined the path. Candles were lit. People stood and turned to look at the bride. But Wine saw none of it. At the end of the ashley stood Sue, dressed in a classic black suit. His face was serious, unreadable. As one and her father walked down the ashley, Sophie sat in one of the front row. She couldn't hold it anymore. Her hands were shaking and tears followed freely. Sophie in her heart, why is this happening to her? Why does love always lose for people like her? When they reached the altar, her father placed her hand in Sue's and gave a weak smile. Then he stepped back slowly. The priest stepped forward and began the ceremony in a calm voice. Priest, dear beloved, we are gathered here today in the presence of God to join this man and this woman in holy. Sophie looked at one's face, still no emotion, no tears, no smile, nothing, only silence. The vows were said, the rings were exchanged, and finally the priest said, "Priest, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may." The bride, Sue, leaned forward and placed a shirt on her cheek. The guest clapped, but Sophie didn't. She just looked at her friend, and her heart broke into 1,000 pieces. One was now someone's wife, but her soul still belonged to someone else. As soon as the wedding was completed and everyone clapped, Wine and Sue stepped down from the stage slowly. Her face was still calm, too calm. Not a single emotion was visible. It was like her heart had been locked away behind her smile. Just then a graceful woman walked up to Wine with a warm smile on her face. Her eyes held kindness, but something about her felt strangely familiar. "Mrs. Jian, I know, daughter, you don't know me. Actually, we never got a chance to meet before, but that okay, from today we will get to know each other." She smiled gently and placed her hand softly on one's shoulder. "Mrs. Jian, I am Sio's mother, and now I am yours too." One looked at her quietly. There was something in Mrs. Jian's eyes, something that made her heart skip a beat. This woman's face felt familiar, but she couldn't remember where or how. After all it had happened in 17 years, she had never even heard her name until today. "Mrs. Jian, gently, come with me, dear. I will introduce you to the family." She held one's hand and started walking with her toward the crowd. Mr. John, smiling warmly. "Never worry, okay? Think of me as your mother, not your mother-in-law. And listen, if anyone ever says something to you, something to hurt you, whether it's a family member or a stranger, just come straight to me. I promise I will handle it in a way they will never forget." Wen just nodded slowly. Her heart felt heavy, her steps felt light, and her mind was filled with silent questions. She didn't speak a word, but something inside her was slowly starting to stir. Then Mrs. John started introducing Joanne to each of the family members one by one. First, she brought her to Sue's elder uncle and aunt, along with their son Max. who was around the same age as Sue. Next, she introduced her to Sue's younger uncle and aunt, who had two daughters, Isla, 21 years old, and Ava, just 8. Isla, 8 years old, and Ava, 21. After the greetings, Mrs. John turned to Wine with a soft expression. Mrs. John, do you know why there's such a big age gap between Isla and Ava? And silently looking at Mrs. John, listening intently. Mrs. John, with a hint of sadness in her voice, because 5 years after Ava was born, Seu's aunt suddenly fell very ill. Her health kept decaying and she became extremely weak. Doctor advised her against having another child. It was only after she fully recovered that Isla came into our home like a little angel. Then Mrs. John guided one toward another couple. Her smile tightened slightly. Mrs. John, why meet them? This is your father-in-law's stepsister and her husband, and this is their daughter Diana, and this is their son Leo. Giving them a clearly fake smile, Leo scanned Wine from head to toe with a lingering gaze. His eyes held something unsettling, too bold, too slow. Wine could sense it clearly. There was something off in his intentions, something wrong. Step on. Say what you want, Mrs. John, but your daughter-in-law looks like a giant up branch. My Diana is far more beautiful than this lifeless twig. You choose. What did you even see in her that you rejected my gorgeous daughter for this? Mrs. John, laughing loudly. You have still got your sense of humor, dear step-sister-in-law. You really think I did repeat the same mistake my father-in-law made years ago by marrying your mother? You think I did let my son marry your daughter and bring digester into our family? Tell me something. If you had two options for your family, one being a dry branch and the other one a Manichean tree, what would you choose? You already know the answer, don't you? Let's go, wine daughter. People who burn in jealousy will always keep burning. As they walked away, Mrs. Gion's smile faded, replaced with a quiet seriousness. Mrs. Gion, wine daughter, don't let her words affect you. She's always been like that. Actually, when Shiv's father and both his uncles were very young, their mother passed away to ensure proper upbringing. My father-in-law remarried, but only after the marriage did he discover that the woman already had a daughter from a previous marriage. And trust me, both mother and daughter are dangerous. In their childhood, that woman tortured Siv's father and uncles, but her daughter, the stepsister, always acted sweet in front of the boys, fooling everyone into thinking she was innocent and kind. Only us three daughter-in-laws know the truth about her. She wanted her daughter to marry my son, to trap him into her game, but I made sure that never happened. If she had entered our family, she would have destroyed us from within. After a pause, Mrs. Gion smiled again, trying to lighten the mood. Mrs. Gion, now come, let me introduce you to my eldest son, the eldest in our entire family. He just returned from abroad. He doesn't live here, only came for his brother's wedding. He will be leaving again in a week. She held Wine's hand and began walking forward, while Wine silently followed her expression still blank, her heart quietly absorbing every word like a distant. Then Mrs. John gently led Wine toward a young man standing by the corner. As soon as the man turned around to face them, it felt like Wine's heart skipped a beat. No, it slammed inside her chest. That jawline, sharp, used to slice out every memory she did try to bury. Those eyes, expressive, double-lidded, screaming both innocence and mystery. His nose straight bridge, with a soft rounded tip, too natural, too perfect. His lips plush, pouty, almost heart-shaped. The bottom lip fuller, made for stealing hearts. His eyebrow bold, arched like they carried the weight of 1,000 unsaid words. He looked like a dream, her dream, and it, this moment felt like a nightmare. Before Mrs. Jeon could even say a word, tears had already welled up in Wayne's eyes. Mrs. Jeon, Wayne, this is my elder son, Jeon Jungkook. And just like that, something inside her shattered. Wayne in her heart, am I really this unlucky? My childhood love, the one I waited for 17 years, the one I loved from 17 years, and today I saw him like this, my elder brother-in-law. After that, Wayne had no strength left to say or even hear anything. A dark blur began clouding her vision, slowly spreading before her eyes. Her body grew weaker with each second, and just as she was about to collapse, she caught a final glimpse of her elder brother-in-law reaching out, catching her just in time, lifting her gently into his arms, and then everything went blank. She fainted.